Hey guys, I'm going to give you guys another video today. I think what we're going to do today is get all the little things buttoned up under the hood here. I still got to box in around the radiator inside the frame there. Got to install the transmission cooler lines, get all the heater hoses installed, make all the connections to the firewall. What I did here was I used a couple of these unions, brought the tool home from work, crimped these on. This here I can be able to get all my mock-up done with it. And then once I break it down, I'll still get this welded on each side. Get all that hooked up. I even got the one down here fitting pretty good. So I had to install a high pressure switch. So I got the Schrader valve on there for that. What else? Surge tank. Picked up my surge tank. Now this is a closed system loop, which means there's no overflow bottle. Everything is done inside the tank. So this spigot that comes out actually goes right back to the radiator. So trying to find a spot for this thing to fit was pretty hard, because you got to keep it, that's got to be your highest point on the cooling system in order for it to work. So after dwelling on it for a while, I figured out that my tire on the inside of the wheel well stops right here. So what I did was I opened up my wheel well a little bit. I'll make that fit right into place right here. I did check underneath for the tires turning in, out, up and down, and this thing is, there's so much room under there. So I think that'll work out pretty good. Now it is higher than the rad, which I want, and the hood does not make contact with it when it's down, so I think that's going to be the perfect location for it. Is either that or use a smaller surge tank, but smaller ones are for like 4-cylinders or V6s, so I'm thinking the V8s is going to have more expansion room than the smaller engine, so I'd rather just stick with the V8 one. So what I'm going to do is I'll get this rad condenser and fan back out and start boxing in on the around that area, and then I'm going to get those tranny lines fitted. Once those are in, then I can do the rest of the other stuff. So alright, I'll show you guys when I get to that point. Alright guys, I got the frame notched out a little bit more just so it clears that rad hose. And I got it clearing all the way around. I do have this conduit piece here that I'm going to slide on afterwards for just an added protection. So what I'm going to do now is start making some templates and get this frame closed in on both sides. But what I got to do first is pull this bottom brace off, and I got to clean up inside there. So I can get those that mounting tab there welded inside before I start boxing it in. That way I don't have to worry about that after. So when I get to that point, I'll show you guys. Alright guys, I got it all boxed in. Now I just have it stitched in there right now. I think I'm going to leave it like that until I strip the frame down, and then I think I'll be able to work with it a little bit better and nice good welds. But yeah, that worked out real good. I'll throw the rad in here. Everything fits on both sides. Even the rad hose has got all the clearance it needs. So, see that all the way around. Nice and clear. Same with this thing. So You guys can see in there with the hose, but it's not going to rub anywhere. So good. Now I'll get this all back together. And I'll get started on the heater hoses. Get them mounted to the firewall. Get the AC lines mounted. Run my high side liquid line. Get that mated to the firewall, and then I just got to work on the surge tank. And that's going to be about it for under the hood, really. I don't think there's going to be much more other than just the harness and the ECM. So I'll get all this back together and then show you guys then. Alright guys, I got all the hoses on. Got the upper rad hose on, lower rad hose is on. Cooler line is in other than the bottom one. I just got to bring my tube bender home and just give it a little bit of more of a 90 on it. It's just making contact with the hose, the lower rad hose. So I don't want to kink it by doing it by hand, so I'll do it with a tube bender. So I got both heater hoses mounted to the firewall. This hose here is going to get lopped off around this area, and then it's going to get rerouted around the front all the way to this side to the bottom of the surge tank. So that's going to be that. The upper one here, I'll just run it maybe right along the top of the rad and then come around and go right into here. So yeah, got all that fitting pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is make the connection for the air conditioning right at the firewall and get that all mounted. And then the only thing I got left to do is make some little mounting tabs for the surge tank and then close it back in. And that'll be it for that. So, but I will have to open this back up. I wanted to open this up for better airflow, so I'm going to do that today or keep that for after. I don't know, we'll see how I feel. So alrighty, I'll show you when I get to the next point. Alright. Alright guys, I got all the connections made at the firewall for the accumulator and the high side liquid line. So everything's connected now. So show you how I installed the heater lines. You guys all know that my heater box is in the trunk, so everything's got to run from the inside of the firewall back. So how I made that connection was I got a couple of these and I put the washer in about center and I pushed the hose on this side. On the other side I put a washer and I pushed the hose on and I squeezed it in between the firewall. So just a few clamps and that'll be on there pretty good. The connection for the accumulator, what I did was I took the old evaporator core and I cut the connection off right at the evaporator core, and now all of this is able to be mounted at the firewall. I'll show you guys inside the car. I'll try to get this door open with one hand here. Yeah, there we go. What I did from this side was I made a mounting tab and mounted it with some spacers so it sticks in a little bit from the firewall. And the connection that's going to be made on this side is going to be a rubber hose to a steel coupler, which will get welded on either the female or the male end on this section, so all the hoses will thread right onto this side and then they will run all the way to the back. So that is temporary right now until I make a piece for the firewall to cover all that open hole stuff that I'm not going to need. And then once I'm done again, I'll cut that hole open for the AC system again. But I just want to get it all mounted to the firewall, just so I know everything's going to fit. So I think I'm going to call it quits for today. The only thing I got left to do here is cut the opening for the rad and mount the surge tank. Other than the power steering hoses, engine harness, stuff like that, the majority of it's done. So I will get back on it tomorrow. I can either finish this up tomorrow, but what I really want to do is install my leaf springs that I got. I did get the Hotchkiss 1.5 inch drop to go on the car. I did do all the measurements to it, and I ended up with, after having the weight in the trunk, I had about 3 inches of space in between the fender and the top of the tire. So there is a 2-inch drop, but I really didn't want to have an inch clearance at the back. I think 1.5 inches would be a little bit better. So I think I just got over 1 inch in the front, so I'm just kind of keep it proportional. So we'll see what it looks like with the 1.5 inch drop, and we'll put weight in it again and see exactly how it's going to sit. So that's on the to-do list this weekend too. So, but until I get some more, thanks for watching.